Hi, everybody. I'm Jules, and I want to welcome you to our first fifth year podcast. We're super excited to begin on this journey, and I'm here today with our leader and CEO of the fifth year, Jim Pollock. All right, Jim, we're here on our first day at the fifth year podcast.
Seems riveting. I'm sure this is going to be fantastic. We should probably have 1 million followers after this first show, I'm sure.
I mean, we could go viral.
Yes, I'm sure this is, yes.
It's the start of something incredible.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
We're talking about the fifth year and why it started and what it is, because a lot of people don't know the awesome things that we have going on here in Toledo, Ohio, and we want to share it with the world.
Fifth year to me is the thing that the country needs. It's desperately needed forever. And too many kids are graduating from high school lost. And everybody knows it. The parents know it, the students know it, the educators know it, the colleges know it, the business leaders know it. Everybody knows about the problem, but nobody's doing anything to solve it. And that's what drives me crazy, is for too many decades, we've told kids you gotta go to college. The only way to be successful in life is you have to go to college. And they can't possibly make that choice as a 17, 18-year-old graduating from high school. It's completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
It is. Mm-hmm. And everybody's got their own story, whether it's them that did it or they've got a kid that's doing it or their grandkid or their niece or nephew. It is the cancer of our country today, without question. And too many people are sticking their head in the sand, not wanting to acknowledge the problem and not willing to do anything about it. Not willing to dig in, go into the trenches, and actually do the work that's required to help kids successfully launch in life. It's just the sad reality of where we are. And that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting paradigm of, you have so many people that want their kids to go to college, kids don't really know what they want to do. We're kind of coming back from COVID, and how does maybe the skills that they have lost, how can they get up to a level where they're productive members of society?
Well, now you sound old like me, but put yourself back. You remember your journey. I mean, you're one of those kids that started in one major and then shifted majors just to get out of school.
Right.
Right?
I mean, honestly, if I could go back, I wouldn't go to college, because by the time I switched majors, I only took 3 semesters of coursework for the major that I got. And it was of zero use to me. Yeah,
and that's the reality of the world. And unfortunately now it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a degree that you may or may not use. And I'm not a college is bad person. Mm-hmm. It's not like I hate college. This is not anti that, but it's not for everybody.
Right.
And we're trying to give our next generation of students a one solution fits all, a one way to solve a problem, and it's a completely ineffective, inappropriate, unsuccessful way. And for too long, we've just not paid attention to the statistics that are coming out of it, and just not wanting to admit that it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw a statistic the other day that 3 out of 10 college graduates are using their degree.
So think about that for itself. 3 out of 10. Yet we celebrate this as this huge successful endeavor in life when 3 out of 10 kids are using their college degree. And to make it one step worse than that, only 60% of them are actually graduating. So you're taking the 60% that actually graduated, and then 3 of those 10 are actually using their degree. And again, this is not a college is bad. I don't want to beat down college, because college can be good. And it is required for certain degrees. But if you have somebody that's going to school to get a liberal studies degree, or a business degree, or an art, some art therapy degree, not picking on the arts, but most kids haven't thought about what does it actually mean.
Right.
And I think we have a completely reverse way that we're looking at stuff. Instead of having young people think about what they want their life to look like, what they want their life to be, and creating the quality of life, and then figuring out, okay, how do I get there? What is this lifestyle I want to live? Where do I want to live? What kind of career do I want? And then let's figure out what I have to do to get there. Mm-hmm. We have it reversed. We're just telling kids, go to school and figure it out.
Right.
At the cost of $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. It's completely unresponsible as a community, as a society, for too many decades.
Yeah. How do you think that fifth year kind of reverses the narrative?
Well, I think it goes against what we've been told for decades. what parents have been told, what educators have been told, what communities have been told, or even what businesses. There was a point in time not too long ago where in order to get a job, you had to check the box that said you had a college degree. And that wasn't too long ago, but in my generation, that's kind of how we grew up. It's like, well, you want to be successful, you got to be able to check that box. And if you can't check the box that says you went to college, then you're going to end up in a factory somewhere.
Right.
And it was almost scare tactics. We created the problem, and that problem is still continued. But it's not like that anymore. I mean, many companies have gone away from expecting you to get a college degree because it's just not as valuable as it once was.
Yeah. What's been your favorite story of students that you think like the program has actually helped?
Without question, I know we're having an impact on the next generation. And we're at that point now that's to say, okay, we've helped a handful of young people and we've got incredible stories. I've got some of my favorites, but I love them all. And I think all of the students that went through the first class of fifth year are truly trailblazers. And I think the world of them for taking a different path, taking a risk on life that nobody else was willing to take, and a whole world that was telling them they couldn't do it, that it wasn't going to work, that this isn't a viable path. So the students that we've got great stories of, the Aubrey Edens of the world, the Logan Simocks that have found their passion, found a purpose, and are living life on fire. They figured out how to manage their personal finances. They don't have any student loan debt, and they're pursuing life on purpose. I think that could be for everybody. And it's too bad and too sad that we still have as much pushback on society as we do, because I know we're disrupting a space that desperately needs disrupted. Yeah. And we're primed to do it. And the time is now. And you're part of it, Jules.
The time is now.
The time is now.
Time waits for no one.
That's right. Time waits for no one. What are some of the things you've seen in fifth year? What are some of the things that you've witnessed? You're in the trenches. Yeah. So you're doing the work. You're deep down. You get to know the students. You spend a lot of time with them. What are some of the things you've seen that have been eye-opening to you?
I think students, when they're exposed to different opportunities, it lights them up. So they have exchanges where they didn't know that I could be a veterinarian, or I didn't know that I could work in the medical field in surgery but not be a surgeon. I could be a medical salesperson. There's different avenues to accomplish what they want to do. It's just helping them figure out what those things are. So I think that's been really cool for them to see those different opportunities. I think we have an interesting age group of students that we put a lot of expectations on them, and they're given the opportunity to kind of show up and prove themselves. And the ones that are proving themselves are really standing out and taking advantage of every opportunity. So it's just been cool to see them do that. Yeah.
It's been interesting for me to see what the next generation is bringing, just the different backgrounds that the students are coming from, the schools, the socioeconomic status, the walks of life. That in itself has been fun for me to see. It's like we have our own little social experiment going on that nobody else gets to see. And we get to spend time with them, kind of a behind the scenes look at how their life can unfold if given the right opportunities. And I think that's one of my favorite parts as well. So sadly, most students don't get that chance. Right. And it goes back to the root cause of what we're trying to do is you have somebody that spends 13 years in an education system from kindergarten to the day they walk across the stage after their senior year, and they get asked those questions of what are you going to do for the rest of your life, or where are you going to go to school, or what are you going to major in? Yeah. It's completely unrealistic. Yeah. Because they haven't seen a lot. They haven't experienced a lot. They haven't had a chance to go to a veterinary clinic to say, man, this is pretty cool. I don't want to be a veterinary, but I could be the person that helps the families. I could be the marketing and graphic design that's working with animals and telling the stories and creating the social media content. I mean, there's so many different areas inside of each industry that kids have never seen or never thought of, because they've been forced just to sit in classrooms and take academic stuff that doesn't really translate to real life. Yeah, and all they see is social media and influencers, which have great influence on them, but oftentimes we'll hear that that's what they want to do, not having known any other path that they could take. Right. So it's like just getting them exposed to
all of the different careers and things that they can do, that if they're actually wanting to be an influencer, they can pursue that, but just showing them the realities of it and all of the different options that they have.
All the different areas they can do. I mean, if you think about what they've gone through in high school, all they've taken is academic classes, most students. And I know there's some great schools out there, there's career tech schools, and there's kids that do get experiences and, you know, maybe find their pathway, but a large majority of them still don't.
Yeah.
And it's because we're expecting them to pick those as 13, 14-year-old kids. They're not mature enough. They can't possibly think about what they want to do the rest of their life. I mean, you've got 20, 30, 40, 50-year-olds that still don't know what they want to do. Yet we expect 13, 14-year-old kids. But so I think there are some schools that are doing great things in that lane. But if you think about their traditional high school journey, it's 3 years of English. It's 3 or 4 years of math, 3 or 4 years of science. And how many times have you heard, I've heard it, what am I ever going to use trigonometry for?
Right.
Or what do I need physics for? Well, unless you're going to pursue a career in science or math, I'll never use trigonometry again. I've never used calculus.
Yeah.
It's just, so why not spend that time doing meaningful career exploration rather than forcing kids to take more academic classes? That's the stuff that's never made sense to me.
Exactly. And all we hear from them is, I wish that I learned how to budget, how to save, how to invest. I wish I learned how to cook and how to take care of my home and how to buy a home or buy an apartment. And that's one of the really cool things that we've gotten to see this year is we just had a cooking class and the students got to cook chicken. And I asked many of them, like, have you ever cooked chicken before? And they're like, no, like this is the first time I've like used a pan and seared chicken. So it's like the basic life skills that people need to survive. They really wish that they got that in high school. So we're providing that opportunity for them to have a safe space to do it, but actually get meaningful skills that...
There was once a point in time where you would learn how to do that. It was called home ec.
Right.
Now I sound old. But even that was in 7th and 8th grade, and it's not really something you're going to take as a life skill. And I think that's the big thing. So you're hitting on it exactly. All the kids are learning in high school is this academic stuff, which if you're going on to college or you're going to pursue a high-level degree, you probably need it. But for the majority of our country, it's not required.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. And that's, to your point, that's what I love is talking with all the kids, the fifth year students that are in the program now.
Yeah.
And you realize how much they don't know and how much life skill and professional skill education they are lacking. And they are hungry for, and they're desperately trying to figure out, but they haven't had the chance to learn it. And that's one of the big things that I love about what we do. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, I want you to tell me what has been, through your conversations throughout this week, we're at a Friday, what's been the highlight conversation as you're out talking with business people about fifth year? What are people saying about it?
I've had a lot of incredible meetings, just like I do every week, because the fifth year movement is real and the interest is growing. And one in particular this week was with Mike Deach, who is the executive director of the John Henry Eldred Foundation, who is a big supporter of ours, believer in what we're doing, and just a huge supporter of the community. And just to have a conversation with him, hear about the exciting things they're doing and the stuff that are important to them, to know that we're directly aligned, the work that we're doing is directly aligned with their initiatives, and we can collaborate together to help solve this problem, is fun. I mean, that's what I love to do. That's what I love every week, is having those conversations with other business leaders, organizational leaders, community leaders, parents that get it and see it. And that happens all the time. And I'm lucky to live this life, to have this seat, to be a part of the work that we're doing, and there's nothing better I could imagine doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love hearing, because we're in the trenches doing the work, and so sometimes we don't always get to hear the exciting things and conversations that happen outside of the office. So it's encouraging to hear just the buzz that it has around. And
well, you guys do all the work. I tell you that all the time. I do nothing. I mean, I do zero. I go out and tell the stories and try and carry on the conversations. But in reality, it's you and the rest of the team that are doing the stuff in the trenches that actually is making the stories and outcomes come to life. Without you all, none of this would happen. So I just love the team that we've got and the work that we're doing.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting today, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Jules.